Alright, what's up guys? Doing the videos this year again. So, alright, just to get started, I'll pick a winner in my opinion. I'll go over my pushes and my advantages for each person's team for every week. And just go from there and let you know. Alright, so my first game that I'm going to talk about is Hazy versus Seha. Well, you know, I think it's more of a one-sided game than anything. Hazy had some bad luck, with Kevin White getting hurt, and after that it just didn't really look too good. I'll go over my pushes here. Oh, by the way, the computer picks Hazy to win. My pushes here, and I got Aaron Rodgers over Peyton Manning. I got Matt Forte better than Frank Gore. I got Carlos Hyde doing better than Jennings. We got Demaryius Thomas doing better than Jeremy Maclin. Doug Baldwin and Jarvis Landry, them two going against each other. I say it's a push. It's close. You know, Seattle's not going to pass the ball as much, but they're going to have to against St. Louis because their run defense is pretty damn good, regardless of Marshawn. But Marshawn's Marshawn, so we'll see what happens with that. Jimmy Graham versus Dwayne Allen. You have to pick Jimmy Graham due to the fact he's Jimmy Graham, so I'm going to have to pick him. In the flex, it's a little tough, but I'd have to pick. You know what? I'm going to change one. I had DeAndre Hopkins picked, but I'm going to change that to D'Angelo Williams. New England's run defense isn't that good, and I forgot that DeAndre Hopkins is going against Kansas City, so I don't really like that now. Also on the fact that we barely know who's throwing to him. It's Brian Hoyer, but we'll see how that goes. And I have Carolina defense over New York defense due to the fact that Carolina is going against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville is not that good at all. And they haven't, you know, Blake Bortles. We'll see how he does in year 2, plus a rookie running back. We'll see how he does at all. So, you know, just a couple more things. You know, I'm going to talk about. I have Aaron Rodgers over Peyton Manning due to that he's going against Chicago. We all want Chicago to do good, but we know they're not. And Forte, I think he can do better than Frank Gore versus Buffalo. Buffalo's got a good defense. For Frank Gore, I don't think he's going to do as well. Plus, Gore, as good as he's been doing for as old as he's getting, he's going to have to go down at some point. So, I mean, that might be this year. Jennings, Rashard Jennings, I have no faith in him. He's going to get hurt. He had one good year in Oakland for half a year. Goes on the Giants. What did he do last year? He did okay and then got hurt. Probably going to be the same thing this year. Carlos Hyde, I can see him going on the up. Minnesota can be tough, but I think he'll have a good game. Jeremy Maclin, going against Houston. They only had one or zero receiving touchdowns last year in Kansas City. So, I mean, Jeremy Maclin could boost that, but we'll see. I think Demaryius Thomas can have a good game if Peyton Manning throws to him. Peyton Manning, I can see him starting to decline. As good as he is, I can see him starting to go down. So, move on from that. So, yeah, I pick, you know, looking at this, I'd have to say I pick Seha. He has better matchups across the board for his players. So, sorry, Hazy, but I'm going to pick Seha. Alright, moving on. Jay Kyle versus Austin. Alright, well, Austin's been whacking off to his team since draft day. So, we'll see how he does. But, we'll go over his matchups here. He's got Tannehill versus Carson Palmer. I'm going to say that's a push due to the fact that Carson's coming off an injury. Ryan Tannehill. You know what, looking at this, I might have to change this. I have to say, you know what? No, it's going to be a push. I'm going to say it's still a push for Carson Palmer and Ryan Tannehill. Going on, C.J. Anderson versus Hill from Cincinnati. I'm going to put Hill. He's going against Oakland. I mean, I guess they're a little bit on the up a little bit, but I can't see their defense stopping him at all. I'm going to give Julius Randle the advantage to Alfred Morris because the Redskins are a mess this year. Can't really tell what's going to happen with that at all, especially offensively. It's going to be very inconsistent, especially at quarterback possibly, and just it's not going to be good, I don't think. Dez Bryant's going to get the advantage. Obviously, he's Dez Bryant. Devontae Adams is going to get the advantage over Julian Edelman because he's playing Chicago. Pretty much anybody that's playing Chicago is going to have the advantage. Travis Kelce over Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker's a good player. He's a very good athlete. We don't know what he's going to do. He's been kind of inconsistent since he's left San Francisco a couple years ago, but he's a very good player. We'll see what he does this year. At flex, Troy Matthews beats out C.J. Spiller. C.J. Spiller has never reached his potential. He had one good year last year, kind of boosted him up a little bit, but now he's on New Orleans. They're inconsistent running the ball. Mark Ingram actually had a good year this year, but he's starting. But he can come out of the backfield. But in this matchup, I picked Troy Matthews. He's the #1 receiver on the Eagles, and he's at flex along with Austin's other 2 starting receivers. I think that's a pretty. Austin's got pretty solid receivers. It's really good actually. Kyle, I know you've done really well in fantasy, but this year, looking at your team, not trying to say I'm better than you, because we all know I'm not at fantasy, but your team, this isn't the best team I've seen. It's the first time really looking at it, especially at running back. You really got to boost up your running back somehow. But the computer picks Austin. I as well pick Austin. He's got better matchups, stronger receivers, a little bit of a stronger team here, so I pick Austin. Moving on. We got Kess versus Timmy, Pagan's favorite person here. Alright, so I'm going to go over his team. Eli versus Drew Brees. I'm going to say that's a push, because Eli, we'll see how he does this year. Eli's a good quarterback. But, he has those inconsistencies. But, he's got a better receiving core. Victor Cruz is back. Drew Brees go against Arizona. Arizona's got a solid defense. Yeah, solid defense. So I'd say that's a push. Alright, AP versus Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart's garbage. I'm sorry. I cannot stand him. For the life of me, I cannot stand Jonathan Stewart. He's never been consistent. He might have a couple good games here and there, but he's a mess. I'm sorry. I don't like him. But he is going against Jacksonville, so that is a plus. So hopefully he can do good. But I'm going to have to vote for AP on this one because it's AP. He's coming back. He's got some chip on his shoulder. I can see him doing good. Justin Forsett versus Tevin Coleman. It's Tevin Coleman's first game starting. Justin Forsett, we'll see how he does as a full starter for the whole season. We'll see what happens. I give that a push. Also, they're both going against Coleman versus Philly. See how he does there in that. And Denver, you would think they'd be good at defense, but I give it a push. That's right. I'm recording this right after we had the discussion on the group message about the trade with Kess and Skevo. So it changes up my thing a little bit. Kess had Randall Cobb in there. I think he's on the IR. I saw something on that earlier. We'll see how that goes. But if they just made this trade, then Alshon is now on Kess's team, and Joique Bell. Just remember that. So if that's the case, I think Joique Bell could have a decent game. He might. I think he's a little hurt, but he's a starter. Abdullah might get some of the third down carry. I don't know. Bell, we'll see how he does this year, but he is a starter, bruising back. And Alshon, he's banged up, but he's Alshon. He's going to get most of the targets. He's the best receiver. I think he's going to get more than Eddie Royal. He's going to get more than who's after Eddie Royal? Marquise Wilson. So that boosts up Kess's team, and Skevo, you're fucking retarded. Anyway, you don't have Chris Ivory anymore, so yeah, you could put Bell there if you want. So you also have Green Bay's defense going against Chicago. I think you won that one. Timmy's team is, after Tevin Coleman, Timmy's team has weak running backs, in my opinion here. He's only got 2 in the starting lineup. But after that, he's got Antonio Brown, Andre Johnson, Gronk. That's pretty solid right there, I like it a lot. And they got solid matchups here. Antonio Brown goes to New England. I think he can tear up New England. Their secondary is mediocre at best. They got McCourty. That's all I know. After that, everyone else that was on their team isn't there anymore. That was good. Andre Johnson, he's a good guy that's going to take targets from T.Y. And he's Andre Johnson. At one point, he was probably one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Gronk is Gronk. He's a beast. Solid. Great. Going to get you 10-plus points probably every game. Your guys' flex. If it's Bell, if it's Ivory. For Cass, for Timmy, he's got Decker. And they're both going against Cleveland. So, that's a push. We don't know what's going to happen there. And if it's Bell, then, maybe I give the edge to Bell, but I don't know. I think that's a push regardless. The computer picks Cass. I think this game is going to be very, very close. I think... Let's see what other notes I got here. Yeah. Well, I did have Cass as a bad bottom part of his lineup, but I think that changed now that Skevo kind of gave him some good players. But I think it's going to be a very close game regardless of anything. I think Cass will win because AP will be the difference maker. AP will probably be the difference maker in the points on his team. So I think that Kess will win this game because AP will have a breakout game and just push him over the edge a little bit. But this is going to be a good game, so it can go either way, regardless. Alright, I know this is starting to get a little long here. Trying my best. Next game, Jamie versus Skevo. Going through the players here. Matt Ryan versus Andrew Luck. I pick Andrew Luck against Buffalo. Matt Ryan is great. He's a good quarterback. I've had him last year in fantasy. Hasn't done, fantasy-wise good for me. LaShawn McCoy versus Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy is going against Chicago. Eddie Lacy is a beast. We're going to pick him no matter what. McCoy, I think he's got some possibly injured a little bit, so even if he does good, he might not do as good as he would. Melvin Gordon versus what was Drake Bell. Say it's Chris Ivory. Either way, I call that a push. Melvin Gordon's a beast. He was a boss in college. But it's his rookie year. We don't know what he's doing. He's going against, what do you got here? Detroit. He can either run all over him, but Detroit's got has a solid defense. They got rid of Sue. They got Holy Nada now. We'll see how they do. So I'm going to give that a push. I can see Melvin Gordon just going over the top, but we'll see how he does. It's rookie year. Odell Beckham versus what was Jeffrey. So I don't know what Skev was going to put there. I didn't really pay attention to his team because he just annoys me. So, I'm going to give the edge to Odell Beckham. Brandon Cooks versus Brandon Marshall. I'm going to give the edge to Marshall because he's going against Cleveland. And we'll see how Brandon Cooks does with Drew Brees and him being like the #1 guy there. But he's also going against Arizona, so we'll see how that goes. Arizona's solid. I think their defense is awesome. Not because I have them, it's good defense. Okay, Martellus Bennett versus Tyler Eifert. I just give Tyler Eifert the advantage because he's in Oakland. But I can see Martellus Bennett doing good. He's been one of the best tight ends. He had a breakout year last year. I think he's one of the best, and I think he broke all his personal records. So, I pick Eifert, but I think it can go both ways. But Eifert because he's going against Oakland. Kansas City defense that's going against Houston for Jamie, and Buffalo defense going against Indianapolis for Skevo. I say, I'd probably pick Kansas City over Houston. Kansas City's defense is solid, very solid. They're getting Derek Johnson back. They're getting Eric Berry back. That's going to be one of the best comebacks ever. Plus, they're both Pro Bowl players are coming back, boost up that defense. So that's and they're going against Houston. Their offense, they don't have Arian Foster. New quarterback starting. Their only offensive weapon, as far as I know, is DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll see how they do, and they can shut them down with that secondary that they have. So looking at this, previously looking at this, Skevo had the better matchups. To be completely honest, just his guys: Buffalo, Chicago, Cleveland, Oakland, Indy, with his players. I don't think Sammy Watkins is going to do anything. Oh, I forgot to do Skevo's flex. Keenan Allen or Sammy Watkins. Keenan Allen's going against Detroit. Sammy Watkins going against Indianapolis. Sammy Watkins on the Buffalo isn't going to do anything at all. Their offense is not going to do anything at all. They're done. Season's done for their offense. I don't care. Keenan Allen, he went through a sophomore slump. We'll see how he does. But I think he'll do good against Detroit. Secondary's okay. But the computer had Jamie winning this. Skevo had the better matchups, I believe, on his whole team. It's going to be a very close game, without a doubt. Probably one to look at all week. Skevo has... I'm going to probably have to pick Skevo on this one. He's got better matchups. He's got a little bit more star potential on his team, with higher up players. So, we'll see how he does. But, I'm going to pick Skevo just to do to his team and matchups. The computer says Jamie. Again, sorry about the length. Continuing on, Pat versus MTB. Pat, again, is not really putting into his inputs on anything as usual. I love you, Pat, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyway, going through his team. Pat has Wilson, MTB has Big Ben. I'm going to pick Big Ben because he's going to pass the ball. He's going to be all over the place. New England secondary, their defense, they're hit and miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but Big Ben's going to tear them up, I believe. Antonio Brown. Wilson, he's going against St. Louis. They like to run the ball. St. Louis's defense, it's solid. Their front line is beast. They do have beast mode. We'll see how they do. It's going to be a good battle. But I'm going to have to pick Big Ben over this one. Mark Ingram versus Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles, I'm not even going to discuss that. Doug Martin versus Lamar Miller. I'm going to put that as a push. I think Doug Martin can come back and have a good season this year. He just had a bad year last year. I don't know what it was, but he's got a new team, new quarterback. well, not a new team, but it's revamped. I believe. I think he can do better this year. Lamar Miller versus Washington. Washington, I don't know. We'll see how they do. They're not good this year at all. They're gonna be just like the Bears. But so I give it a push. See who's gonna do better. I give it a push. Julio Jones versus Calvin Johnson. That's a push. You got two number 1 guys, probably top 5 or 3 receivers in the league right here. Top 1, 2, 3 in this one game. I give it a push because both are those defenses that they're playing, Philadelphia and San Diego. We'll see how they do. So they can both break out. I give it a push. Golden Tate versus Amari Cooper. I give the edge to Golden Tate here because he can take some passes away from Calvin Johnson. They're always looking at him. He can take some passes away, break it for the house. Amari Cooper's unproven. Yes, he's one of the best receivers in the draft. Probably going to be the rookie of the year possibly for offense. So we can see how he does. But he's going against Cincinnati. Their cornerbacks aren't bad. They got Pac-Man over there. So I mean, for this game, I'll give it to Tate. We'll see how Cooper does in further games. Greg Olsen versus Jordan Cameron. Probably going to pick Greg Olsen due to the fact he's going against Jacksonville, and Greg Olsen's a beast. James Cameron's coming off injury. He's on a new team in Miami, so we'll see. Reggie White versus Latavius. I don't know how to say his last name. The running back for our first name for Oakland, Murray. I'm gonna have to give the edge to Roddy White, even though Austin thinks he's garbage in fantasy now. Just in this game alone, or just looking at this game, I picked Reggie White or Roddy White. Just Matt Ryan spreading the ball around. He's going against Philadelphia, and that Murray guy in Oakland. I don't know anything about him, to be completely honest. So we'll see how he does, I guess. And he's going against Cincinnati. They got a good front, so we'll see. I gave the defenses a push. Pat's got Houston going against Kansas City. And St. You know what? No, yeah, I give it a push. No. Yeah, I mean, it's a push. Houston's going against Kansas City. And Kansas City can run all over them, but then St. Louis is going against... No, I give the advantage to Mitch with St. Louis going against Seattle. That Seattle's going to have a hard time against... St. Louis is going to have a hard time against Seattle. It's going to be a hard game, but, re-looking at that, yeah. Mitch has got the advantage defensively. It's going to be a close game. There's a couple close games here. This is one of them. Computer picks Mitch. I also pick Mitch. So we'll see how that game goes. Alright, to finish this up, me versus Pagan. Yeah, I had a lot of bad luck this year with Jordy and Calvin Benjamin. So, I mean, I'm not saying I had the best team or anything like that. I just know I had a lot more solid team than that. But then what I have, I'm doing the best I can. I don't think I'm going to trade anybody. Whatever. We'll see how it is. I'll do it next year. But, now Pagan's got a good team. I traded with him. He's got Tom Brady going against Stafford. I feel like that could be a push, but Tom Brady's coming back. I can see him blowing up on Pitt. Yeldon versus DeMarco Murray. I give DeMarco Murray the edge because of last year. Plus T.J. Yeldon's a rookie. We don't know how he's going to do. Marshawn Lynch versus Edelman. Marshawn Lynch is going against Seattle. Seattle's got a good defense, but beast mode is beast mode, so we'll see how good he does. I give him the edge. Ellington versus New Orleans. I can see him doing good. T.Y. Hilton versus A.J. Green. A.J. Green's going against Oakland. We'll give him the edge automatically. David Funches versus Emmanuel Sanders. David Funches, he's going to be the number 1 guy now that Calvin Benjamin's out, and I think they got in Carolina one more guy. I forgot who it is, but there are other receivers out also. So Funches is basically the number 1 guy. So I can see him doing good as well, but he's a rookie. We'll see how he does. But he's going against Jacksonville, but I also give Emmanuel Sanders the edge because he's Peyton Manning and going against Baltimore. Gotta give Jason Witten the edge. He's a vet. He's going to get probably 5+ targets in the game against the Giants. Giants defense has never done anything for me. I don't like him at all. He's got Kyle Rudolph. He's a solid receiver, but those linebackers for San Francisco are pretty solid, even though they did lose Patrick Willis this year. So I can see, I'd say Jason Witten's got the edge in that one. I got Aquan Bolden versus Vincent Jackson in the push, or yeah, those are both pushes in the flex. Vincent Jackson could do good against Tennessee with Jameis if they have a good connection. And Aquan Bolden, Aquan Bolden's still relevant as he's kind of like Frank Gore. He's getting older and older, but he still does good. So maybe this year he declines, or maybe he just stays steady, he keeps impressing people. I think defenses are a push here. Yeah, I got Arizona against New Orleans, and he's got Seattle versus St. Louis. So I'd say defenses are at a push. Both teams can do very good here. Computer's got Pagan winning. and I have Pagan winning as well. So just to recap all of this, I'm losing against Pagan. MTB's beating Pat. Tinny is losing the Kess. Sorry. Skevo's going to beat Jamie. Hazy is going to lose to Seha, and Austin's going to beat Kyle. So sorry for the length, guys. I'll try to make it shorter, but you know, thanks for watching. Good luck, everybody, this week. Skevo, that was the worst trade I've ever seen. I'm sorry. So good luck, everybody.